As a lot of you, or some people told me, a lot of the rifles I have seem to be covered in dinosaur tracks. So I thought I'll get something modern, for the people that just open a website and buy whatever is newest and latest. And I guess this isn't even newest and latest. There are probably um, more newer guns than this, but I have to say this is some kind of amazing rifle. So Savage Model 110, and I don't think I've ever owned a rifle with a carbon barrel. I think I had, or at least I shot a Christensen arms rifle. But the Savage 110, this is an ultra lightweight, and they've really gone to town with this rifle. I mean, I was looking at it even, well before I shot it. I've only owned it for a couple of days. And they did everything possible. You can see the spiral fluting on the bolt to reduce weight. And we know the Savage 110. We've liked these for forever. They're known as one of the most accurate rifles. And I think I showed you my right bolt, left port Model 12 in the studio. Anyway, this is quite, I would have to say, an achievement as far as a modern rifle goes. So you've got the carbon barrel, and I think the barrel is from, don't quote me, but Proof Research, I think. And I mean, the barrel is almost the cost of the rifle. Quite a remarkable barrel. I've been doing some shooting, and I have to say it's one of the most shootable rifles I own. I seem to hit everything at any yardage. It's in 6.5 Creedmoor. And in case you don't know, there's a stainless steel liner inside that barrel. The rest is carbon fiber. And I don't know the details of the composition of that carbon, but they refer to it as a carbon barrel. You can see I'm holding it without much difficulty or any difficulty. I think it's five something pounds. And of course, the 110 Action has been around a long time, and it wasn't designed for lightness. So in order to accomplish lightweight, they had to do some clever milling operations, and I did not take this rifle apart, so I don't know what they've done inside, but it's very well balanced. And the stock is everything that somebody modern would like. And actually, I like it too. It's got sort of patterns and some rubber here for grip. And I don't know if this adjusts. I guess maybe not, but anyway, it is definitely a modern rifle. And then this is a Tally Picatinny rail. It takes those 840 screws, which I had trouble finding, but eventually, well, not eventually, took me one day to find them, but I got them on, and I forget what these rings are. This is my favorite type of Leopold scope. It's a 6.5 to 20. Why do I like it? Well, those objective lenses get so big, and this, I think they discontinued them. They were too good. And so normally I would put lower rings, and then you can get, right down, which gives you a better cheek weld, but you can't get everything. Oh, and the muzzle is threaded. Not that I've done anything with that, but I mean, even that it's all precision, modern, beautiful workmanship, or, robotmanship or whatever. Fantastic rifle. And I like the magazine. It's actually got some metal in it. The bottom is a polymer. You can see Savage there, and it clicks in place nicely. And I'm just shooting some Hornady ammo, and this is the same ammo that we've been shooting since earlier, and seems to be on paper like about a 1/2 inch with this rifle, in my hands anyway. Probably less in somebody else's hands, but I'm quite happy with a 1/2 inch. Good looking ammo, and of course the Creedmoor needs no introduction. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty slick. And then you all know about the Savage Action. completely reliable action, and it has the barrel attachment system that you're all familiar with. So what I thought I'll do is just take these 3 shots so you can see the rifle working. But in case you have not encountered a rifle with a carbon barrel, there are all kinds of advantages, from heat dissipation. It's a larger diameter barrel, so you get less harmonic variation as the bullet travels down the bore. Quite a stable barrel, and of course, no weight. It's very, very light. And in terms of durability, well, the liner's as durable as any steel barrel. So I think it's actually a pretty good looking rig, and it has that, that nice Savage trigger. They have a name for it, but I don't remember the name. And it's very easy to carry around. I could easily see myself hunting with this rifle. It doesn't seem to miss. Anyway, we'll shoot that AR-500 plate, and feeding, by the way, is effortless. You can feed with your thumb. It's that slick. And we've got the plate over there. Got some sun happening. Kind of flawless operation. I have to say, Savage really hit it out of the ballpark with this one. If you go in for one of these modern rifles, I can't think of a better one. I definitely have noticed that the barrel does not heat up the way a steel barrel heats up. And of course, heat is the enemy when it comes to, throat erosion, barrel erosion, and so on. All right, well, I hope you found that interesting. Great rifle. I hope you're all doing well. We did a segment in the mountains. I had a chance to take this Savage 110 up there, and this isn't the typical rifle that I buy. I think I said that when we were up there shooting, but it's extensively lightened. Actually, I have to say it's a fantastic rifle. If you want something that shoots just incredibly well, at least in my hands, you can't go wrong with one of these 110s. They're not that inexpensive, but I did say that I would look at it in the studio, so I didn't take it apart. But you can see that the barrel, has that unique appearance. So that's that carbon fiber or carbon barrel. There's different terminology on the web, but in here is a very light barrel liner. Something like what you might encounter in a drilling. If you own a drilling or a combination gun, typically the rifle barrels are quite light, and sometimes it's surprising that they're as accurate as they are. But anyway, this is quite stable. The harmonics obviously would be similar to the harmonics of a barrel that was solid steel. And so anyway, they've achieved their objective. And you can see here, we had a few cute moments before filming. See that embellishment there on the receiver ring? So I picked this rifle up, and I was, I try to sort of get a serious mind and start thinking about what I'm going to say. And I see this cool embellishment, and I thought that's something else. So yeah, anyway, it's actually, I guess we had some kind of party here, and that is just some kind of glitter. Maybe it'll even fall off while we're filming, but it's been there for a while, kind of like a bug on a windshield. But anyhow, take a look at this side of the, oh, it fell off. No, it's still there. Yeah, you can see the cuts here. Very well done. And it's it's a spiral fluted bolt. It has an excellent trigger, but you know that. And it has all of the features of the Savage, which has been around forever. it started out as a rifle that, in a sense, was a discount rifle, but over time, excellent marketing, excellent accuracy, and keeping up with the times by way of stock design and innovation, which this is, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Anyway, the bolt runs, it's not a Tikka T3, but for what it is, it's excellent. And I have this very good Leopold scope, which I talk about in the mountains as well. So on the subject of innovation, because there's not much more I can tell you about these, and anyway, there are a lot of videos that, why isn't that smoother? Oh, it's just me. There are a lot of videos that talk about the 110 and the various models based on the same action. The stock is quite comfortable, I have to say, and I think you would like it. I think most hunters and most shooters would really like this rifle. It's the balance and it's the weight. There is something about a lightweight rifle, and yet it has a 22-inch barrel, and it's very stable. And the barrel does not heat up to the same profile, like heat profile of a steel barrel, which is an advantage. Actually, I noticed minimal heating up of the barrel. So yeah, we've got a liner and a carbon or a glass shell of some kind wrapping the barrel. And that reminded me, and we'll finish off with this because I don't want to take up your whole evening, but of one of my favorite shotguns. So oh my goodness, this is so light. So yes, this is a Winchester Model 59. I looked at, when did they come out? So 1959, that's easy to remember. And actually in the marketplace in 1960, it has an aluminum receiver, and the barrel is a very thin liner, just like the Savage. Of course, it's a smooth bore. And the black that you see is a very well finished fiberglass shell. Again, they use different words to describe it: wrapping, coating, shell. 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch chamber. This one virtually never jams. I used to buy these because people were sort of giving them away for a while. Not so anymore, but it's excellent. Winchester had to do something. They didn't have a semi-automatic shotgun. You know the story. They took a pass on the Auto 5, and that was probably a mistake. So Remington and the other makers had a semi-auto shotgun. They did not. That's Winchester I'm talking about. So anyway, they hoped to have their own product, and this is the Model 50 they came out with. You'll recognize that the action is the same as the 59. This is also 2 3/4 inch, but this is a heavy shotgun, and I'm sure that for all the attributes of steel and walnut, you very quickly have a heavy gun, which some people don't like. So they set out to lighten the shotgun while delivering the same level of performance of this one. And like I said, they're just excellent. I think we made more than one video on them, but I can't bring myself to sell them, especially this 59. This thing is just remarkably light, and you can see it's a pretty beefy barrel. There's an article on the web where somebody cuts this barrel at an angle, and you can actually see the liner. Because they cut the barrel at an angle, the liner looks thicker than it is. You can picture that, but it's very thin, and interesting, isn't it, that a liner can be quite thin and handle the pressure with the assistance of the graphite, carbon, or whatever materials they're using, and they're a little elusive about what it exactly is. Somebody told me this is actually fiberglass. Anyhow, one of the more interesting, I think, subjects, these barrels. And wasn't there a company, I may have the name wrong, Christensen, something like that, that's been making it for a while, and now there are all kinds of barrels, I think, barrel makers. I'm trying to remember the name of the company that makes this barrel. I think it might be something like proof, but don't quote me. Yeah, wonderful rifle, sort of an all-rounder that you can trust. And there's our little gleaming bead. Anyhow, I hope that's interesting for you. I'm glad I bought this rifle, even though it doesn't, like meet my normal requirements. But I think it's something good, to own something that's sort of up to date for a change. And the rail and the scope, you can't miss. All right, well, enough on that. Take good care, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.